In this video, we will show you how to bleed the brakes on this Toyota Sienna. Make sure you have some brand new .3 or .4 brake fluid and we can get started. Okay friends, let's make our way under the hood. To find the master cylinder, we're going to open up the upper panel that comes across this area. A quick inspection and we'll set that aside. The next thing we'll do is remove the cap from here. Before you do so, it's important to make sure there's no miscellaneous debris that could fall inside the braking system. With the cover out of place, just give it a quick squeeze, make sure it's soft and pliable. If it looks like it's torn, worn, or damaged in any way, you want to go ahead and replace that. This one looks fine. We'll set it aside. The next thing we'll have to do is start removing all of the brake fluid from inside of the master cylinder reservoir area. If you were to look inside of the master cylinder from the top, you're going to find that there's a small screen. We're going to remove that so we can draw as much of the fluid out of this as possible using a small suction device. To remove the small screen, we'll be using a small angled pick. This can be a little bit difficult sometimes. You're going to have to work at it. Just make your way along the outside, continue making your way around as you draw it up. A quick inspection of that screen. If you get any brake fluid or anything, go ahead and rinse it down with some clean water. Continuing on, we can start removing the brake fluid from inside of the master cylinder. I'll be coming down from the top. I'm trying to remove as much of this fluid as I can from inside this area. The next thing we'll do is reinstall the protective screen and fill the master cylinder with clean .3 or .4 brake fluid only. That looks good for now. Let's reinstall the cap temporarily. The next thing we'll do is safely raise and support the vehicle, remove the wheels, and we'll start at the passenger side rear wheel. With the wheel off, on the passenger side rear, we're going to be paying attention to the caliper. On the caliper, you're going to have a bleeder screw, and typically you'll have some sort of cover. Go ahead and remove the cover, give it a quick squeeze, make sure it is reusable. Now the next thing we'll have to do for the rear bleeder screws is use a 10mm to break these free. Once you break them free, you want to make sure you see a steady trickle of fluid coming out. We'll close it off. Okay. Assuming you do see a trickle coming out, that means that the bleeder screw is free of debris and we can continue on with the bleed in this area. To do this, it's going to be easiest having two people. One person inside of the vehicle pumping up the brake, the other person's going to be out here bleeding the braking system. Go ahead and pump up the brake pedal, please. Now when we do this, of course, we're going to have gloved hands and wear safety glasses at all times. We'll open this up and wait and see a steady trickle of fluid coming out of here. We want to make sure we see brand new fluid. This can take several times. Go ahead and pump. Go ahead and pump. Repeat this process as many times as necessary until you see only clean fluid coming out of the bleeder screw and definitely no air bubbles. Now that we finished bleeding this side caliper, we're going to make our way back to the master cylinder. Top it off with your .3 or .4 brake fluid and then we'll make our way to the driver's side rear. Let's make our way up here. We're going to check that master cylinder. You can see it's a little low. Top it off with our clean fluid. Now over on the left rear, we'll remove that bleeder screw cover, assuming you have one. Once again, using a 10 millimeter, we'll have our collection bucket under this area and we'll bleed the brake. Let's just open this up real quick to make sure we have a steady trickle. Okay, we've definitely got fluid coming out of there. We'll close this off. Go ahead and pump up that brake pedal, please. You can go ahead and pump. Go ahead and pump. Just as before, ensure that you have clean brake fluid making its way out of here and no air bubbles. Once you've done so, go ahead and clean up your mess and reinstall the bleeder screw cover. After that, make your way back up to the master cylinder and check that level. Let's make our way up here. We're going to check that master cylinder. You can see it's a little low. Top it off with our clean fluid. Making our way from the master cylinder, we'll be continuing at the passenger side front. Remove that bleeder screw cover. Get some fluid coming out of there. Go ahead and pump, please. Go ahead and pump. Same as always, ensure that you have clean fluid coming out of here, no air, clean your mess, reinstall your cover. After that, back to the master cylinder. Let's make our way up here. We're going to check that master cylinder. You can see it's a little low. Top it off with our clean fluid. Making our way from that master cylinder, we're at the left front now. Let's open this up. Got our fluid coming out. Go ahead and pump the brake pedal, please. Go ahead and pump. Go ahead and pump, please. Just make sure there's no air in there. Let's clean our mess. Get that cover on there. The next thing you'd want to do is reinstall all of your wheels, and we're going to make our way back up to the master cylinder and top off that brake fluid one last time. Okay, final check here. Definitely want to add a little bit. Right up to that maximum line. Make sure we wipe down any mess here. Reinstall our cover. Let's get our cover on there. Okay, friend, we finished the brake bleed. At this point, you want to make sure all your wheels are in place and torqued to 76 foot-pounds. Pump up the brake pedal till it's nice and firm, close the hood, and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.